is amazing. Wow.
Just continues.
Wow. This is good. We're going to talk about infinite regress. Self-reference in history, in logic, and psychology. Wow.
An observer, since he distinguishes the space he occupies, is also a mark. We see now that the first distinction, the mark and the observer, are not only interchangeable, but in the form identical.
Yeah, of course.
Very art is about. Like in a very general way, in a very general way, that at the end, art is art because we define it as that. Like art as such is undefined. It will be redefined all the every time. But I think in all the artworks, at least of the artworks I am fascinated, there's always a kind of self-reference which is not like an illustrated one, but more, let's call it an artistic one.
So
there's one work of Escher in the exhibition, this is this one.
Okay.
This is a funny coincidence, because suggest is we go really quickly through the exhibition, and then we have the dinner, and then after dinner everybody can come back and look
That's
at the...
good. That's right.
Okay. So here I also want to stop because here you see the spectrum what we show in the exhibition, like Anna Bogen and Thomas Hoff. Those are probably one of the most important contemporary artists alive. So what we should try to include in the exhibitions are like world famous artists, which are like totally recognized within the contemporary art, and also works of people which you could question, like what does it have to do with art at all?
This is fractal.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But I cannot. We just go quickly. Let's not.
Yeah, fractal, definitely.
Yeah. I also want to tell quickly something here, because this also didn't tell the story. What we also try to include is perhaps artists which have been overlooked by art history and which probably did not work directly within the art context. Also look for female positions. So this is Daphne Oram, and this is the mini oramics. And what Daphne Oram was a pioneer in electronic music, so you can see here working. And what she did is she tried to make electronic music through drawing. So this is a kind of, you could call it the isomorphic machine, because it translates the drawing into music, and later on you could just press this and then it will play one loop what you see here. So, yeah, because we go really quickly, I don't do this now, but yeah, feel free to press this button.
That's great. Yeah, it's cool. It's very interesting.
Oh, you did that?
Yes, yes.
Oh, I see.
Perhaps you're a mathematician, because this is supposed to be the cube of Escher.
From one angle, it looks impossible.
There's another anecdote I would like to share with you, is when we approached the people for the exhibition, we were quite surprised that a few of them... Oh no, don't touch. Sorry. There were a lot of people who said like, oh yeah, no, Gödel Escher Bach, it was a very important book for my work. But there was also one person, I explained a little bit the exhibition, and I explained also about the floating tank, and at the end it seemed that he also made this work, which is of course inspired by by John C. Lilly.
Yeah. He's translated.
Exactly.
Specifically for the exhibition.
No, he made that work in the past. So I didn't know that he made the work. So at the end we choose that work for his contribution. Can we go further?
Gallery, this room.
Wow. Getting it at an angle.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, let's see.
She talks if she's on. Oh, she is on.
Just half here.
Hello?
In the
Maybe she's not on.
in my small introduction at the beginning of the conference, I said I tried to include a very diverse works in the exhibition, where you could also argue what it has to do with contemporary art.
Yeah.
And therefore, I thought it would also be nice to add the essay from Conway about the show and tell series, which is called how it's called?
Radioactive. Well, he
The Weird and Wonderful Chemistry of Audioactive Decay.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that's just the essay out of the original magazine, which we put up here, and people can find it inspiring or like.
This is not art.
It's like that's you decide.
It's performed. Art.
You can.
Artisans, all of us perform.
Well, in this
all
case,
the
everything
time.
is art.
Everything right now. There
Yes,
is
right
a
there.
way of thinking that says it's exactly the way it
Yes,
is. We're all,
everything is art.
we're all creative.
I like to
and-
start it with
Yeah.
And
three.
scientists
Yeah.
too, and you're a
And then
conceptual
after dinner, you have the booklet, and everywhere there's the number, so you can find easily the number, and then you can find some explanation here in the booklet. So we just go to the end.
Yes, I also wanted to have a little more one-on-one conversation to clarify my question. I suddenly realized it was too complex to the discussion.
Yes, there's the people who are thinking about it.
Outside of the packaging, question, do we put it inside or was it in?
So now we reached the end of the exhibition, and this is a picture of the last phase, which is part of the exhibition, but it's floating tank, which is installed in the basement. And this is this installations of what normally would be published in magazines, but this is like the important phenomena of art of the 20th century, namely, like we have the white cube. In the white cube, artworks get exhibited, and then people make pictures of it without the presence of any people, and people look in magazines, so also not without their own presence at the artwork. And so we thought, okay, that would be a nice self-reference to end the exhibition with installation shot of the same exhibition, which is like to enter the last exhibition, you have to make a certain commitment, namely you have to go in the floating tank. If you don't go in the floating tank, then this is the end of the exhibition, because that space is only accessible for the persons who are booking the floating session. You book the floating session, so it's also a little bit like crossing the boundary of the classical contemporary art exhibition.
And you need to the experience.
I don't know. It's everybody can.
That was good to realize you are the way to recover from.
And indeed, this is perhaps I mentioned that shortly in in my introduction, but this is especially interesting because there was an artist called Gustav Metzger, and Gustav Metzger was a stateless artist. So stateless. So on purpose he did not have any nationality. He lived in London, and what Gustav Metzger developed was the self-destructive art. Auto-destructive art it was also called. So what he did is, for example, he made paintings out of a plastic canvas, and then he put acid on the canvas, so at the end it would like self-destructive perhaps, not destroying. But for example, you know perhaps Pete Townsend of The Who, and who smashed his guitar on the stage, and that's also because he was a student of Gustav Metzger. So smashing the guitar on his stage is the performance of a musician to applying the auto-destructive or self-destructive art on music. So a younger couple, London Fieldworks, they're from London. They asked Gustav Metzger to participate in this work. So the inventor of self-destructive art was asked to sit there and to think about nothing, and based on his activity in the brain, they connected this to a robot.
Negation of the autoimmune art of self-destruction.
Cool. The interrogation room.
The group,
That's
because
it.
there were voices
Now we
going
go
on
to dinner.
all over the place. Was that?
Now we go to dinner.
Yeah.